Hello there. Hi, it's me again, Sunita. This week, a bit late. I was in Spain last week. Yeah, it's a short break. This week I'm going to cover training courses, training programs. Actually both for teachers and also it's actually good. Students don't really care. They just want to be paid free or they just want a nice workout. But it's good also for the students to know how qualified their teacher is to teach them, which is really important for safety aspects, etc. And they can learn a lot from it. But just digressing, the last podcast was about shapes and the ones which I didn't cover. Oh, I hate missing out things. Um, just saw one. I recently saw a post, double leg stretch, and where you take the arms and the legs out and you hug in. Coordination reformer links, sort of same shape as that, and also the long box backstroke is also linked as well. That's the sort of like shape that links into double leg stretch. And also, this is my fave, and I'm really annoyed at myself for getting this. Um, the snake and twist, which I know it's an advanced one, but also that sort of links because you come in, into sort of like a ball, you hunch up and then you stretch out. So it's sort of linked in with the upstretch combo. So that's another one. So you come up and then you open out and you twist, and it's the same as you come from your upstretch and then you lengthen out into your combo. So it's sort of similar to your snake and twist. Okay, right. Okay, training programs now. So I just digressed a bit from last week's last podcast. Um, the training programs, just to make sure, I know there's quick ones, there's intense ones, which in the long run, if you want to qualify properly, you want to learn as much as you can, are the better ones. And you don't want to do like a quick weekend course where you're hardly learning anything. So it's probably best to go into a detailed one. I'm just covering Pilates here, but I might tap into the fitness programs as well because I did a lot, and also the requirements for yoga programs. There's all different types of training depending what you want to do. If you want to become a teacher, um, so this training program, you get a quick weekend ones, which is hardly, it's good for awareness. If you're a student and you want to see how the teaching, you want to sort of like tap in, they're doing it um, for your actually own, your benefits, and you want to learn a bit more from the teaching side, maybe a quick weekend course may be good if you're looking at it from a student point of view, like an awareness. That's how I did a yoga course like that. It was a quick weekend because I was doing yoga, but I wanted to see it from a teaching perspective as well, but not to teach it, more of awareness for me. But I would recommend, say if you just do maybe if you just want to specialize in maths, not sort of like a comprehensive with the all the equipment, the reformer, the Cadillac, etc. You just want to concentrate on maths. I recommend probably going for like the you do cover level 1 and 2, a level 3 course where you learn the anatomy as well. Do the anatomy program, you do the teaching, you do like a sign off on all the teaching practices you learn with other teachers, etc. That was the first one I did. It was a contemporary. I hate putting them both, but I did different courses. But in the classical one as well, you can just do your mat course and you actually practice on each other. You get a test on everything. But I'm going to go into the classical fully comprehensive course now, where you learn similar to the shapes and the exercise. I'll link in all the exercises in the previous podcasts. Is where you put the mat after doing your mat qualification, you transfer that onto the reformer, onto the chair, onto the Cadillac, onto the ladder barrels. So you get the full program itself, you learn the whole system. And with these, you practice on each other, your classmates, and you also get test outs. There's two ways of doing this. You sort of get your 100, sort of like your 100 hours of observing and teaching. and then you do 3 and your 400 hours. And then after each of the hours, good way to learn, you get a test out from the master, from your trainer, from your teacher trainer. You get a test out where they mark you for your teaching. If you are this, I'm coming all over the place from this because I did it as a bridging program personally from contemporary to classical. I still recommend, you may not have to do the hours as such, but I mean, you do your observation as everyone else does, but and also you teach with your classmates, and you can also apprentice in the studio, do some hours teaching, for the teacher can offer to do that as a qualified teacher. That's where I did it, called the bridging course. But I recommend, even in the bridging course, you do the test outs. That's how I learned even more how the system went together. So your 100, your 300, your 400, I recommend you actually do them. Do the test outs itself. You get marked, you get feedback on your teaching, on your observation, on your correcting, etc. And even you actually even work on your own posture when you're correcting. So I was bent over, but I was really hunched over really badly. So observation also, that the teacher observes your actual posture. And yes, I recommend, even if you're doing bridging from another course, you do these test outs. In the other courses, you get sort of like sign-offs, you get sign-off a couple of times. That's the other one I did. But whichever course you did, whichever course you decide to do, I do recommend you go for the longer, the more intense course. And you also get an anatomy course as well, where you learn about all the parts of the body, the heart, the lungs, the liver, obviously your breathing, your limbs, the muscles, the tendons, the bones, how everything works. Sort of like the plumb line, the way you stand, your posture, the spine, how many bones are in the spine. It's really important because you're actually you're working with people, you're working with, let's call them bodies, but you're working with people, as you call them, bodies. And you do need to learn about all the bones, the muscles in the body to avoid injury. So it's not about just the shoulder stability, it's how you stabilize shoulders, how you stabilize your pelvis, how the tendons, the bones work, how they're related, how they're linked with each other. So I recommend, like in a weekend course, you would not get, say if you do a weekend, even a couple of weekends, you would not get all that in a condensed little course. So the more intense, the better. You learn, you also get the anatomy exam, which, I mean, personally, we were saying, like with my classmates, we're saying roughly A-level biology or whatever if you're sort of UK based, but you do have to revise. But the more you know about this, the better. So yeah, so teach as much as you can. So another thing, weekends, if you can get together with your classmates to practice your teaching on each other, observe different type of bodies, and a way to build your confidence. And also tracking back to what I said at the beginning, it's really good for the students to know that you've had all this training, so they know you're a safe pair of hands. So it's good to know also. Now, sometimes they don't care what qualification, but they need to know that you are capable of teaching and you are a safe and effective teacher. Other fitness programs, just tapping into them, like I did a fitness program for an exercise to music teacher. Now they have personal training courses. There's lots of training programs out there. It's like going back to Pilates, or I've jumped I've jumped to Hoop or two. With the Pilates courses now in the UK, there are more courses available, which obviously you can look up. I won't mention any over here, but there's plenty of if you just check out few training programs which cover what I've mentioned, the test outs, the testing, the anatomy, the teaching practice, bridging courses. There are lots and lots of courses available on the Pilates. There weren't many when I started back when was it? 2005. There weren't many to choose from. Now there's quite a lot of programs out there which have been licensed and they would bring you up to a good teaching standard. So I recommend, you do look around, you shop around for courses. There are more choices now as were when I started. Yeah, okay, so that's your Pilates thing. Tapping into, again, I jumped, tapping into fitness programs. Again, you can look at there are different products of courses in a fitness training program. And with these, you have your teaching practice. We used to draw stick men for exercises. We sort of like did a 10-week program, and and then we break up to a 5-week program. How we progress the students, and there's also an anatomy exam. So I run out of fingers and toes to count out how many anatomy exams I did because I did a fitness program as well. So again, same thing with a fitness program. You just don't go for the weekend course unless you want it for awareness. You would go for like an intense program where you would learn, where you would practice on people. You learn as much as you can. So your clients, maybe a gym would know, gym would want that requirements in qualifications. Yoga, with yoga, again, it's quite complex. Years ago, there was a training program which I can mention is British Wheel of Yoga, which the requirements was 10 years teaching experience, which no, it's good. But of course, now everything's changed. I think now you get like a 5-hour, 500-hour plus teaching experience, teaching practice. Or if you've been teaching for years and years, they go on experience. That goes with it, like the insurance companies. They require this 500 plus hours of teaching. Or if you've been teaching for years and years and years, for decades, they do go on your experience. So do check on that. So there's lots of requirements, but the most important thing, just make sure that the program you do choose is the full intensity. I mean, it's worth it for your investing in yourself as well. You're investing into your own program, and it gives you the knowledge, and the learning doesn't stop there. As you teach and teach, that's where the learning begins. You teach, you come across different clients, different types of bodies, different injuries, different requirements. So, everyone's a different shape, height, bone density, long, short legs, short torso. That's me, long legs and short torso. So you know from that. And also with all these courses, mainly on your Pilates program, you get it's mainly cueing, because with the fitness, they were like copying me, yoga, etc. But with the Pilates, I'm trying to differentiate between the 3 types of trainings. You learn a cueing technique where, because your body can be exhausted, say you're doing sort of like 5-6 classes a day, or what, so many classes a week, you don't want to be working out. You can demonstrate, but this is where your cueing technique is. But even to I mean, I've got I've spoiled clients so much. They've got that, they've got the visionary learning, that they learn through vision rather than cueing. If I haven't got on the floor, what do I do now? They're sort of standing up looking at me. Even for them to get down to the floor, get onto the mat, into a lying down position, feet and legs hip width apart, arms down by your side. So, I mean, that's just basic, but with teaching, you learn, and more you get that cueing technique down to a T, because you don't want to be doing classes, and especially doing 6 to 8 classes a day. You don't want to be doing every class. So it is important that you have your cueing technique. And also now, because we are lots of us are still online, you're looking at a screen, so you need to have that technique so the clients know exactly what they're doing. Another thing which I did not get when I was teaching, I thought I'll never get it. I was almost giving up. the X-ray vision. I thought, God, how can I see how somebody's body? Oh, can you see my body and how but that comes as well. You see if somebody's just like, I know you want people to move, but they've got to be safe in their movement. If they're completely out of line, you need to sort of straighten them. And I thought, oh, they look fine. They look. I didn't have that technique for a long time. So the X-ray vision and how the pelvis is and the shoulder stability, and you want them to be moving safely. So that's another thing you learn, and it doesn't come overnight. The X-ray vision, it does come with experience and the learning. So just to recap, whether you do a mat course, you do with mat and equipment, just make sure you have you do like an intense program. You learn as much as you can, you practice as much as you can. And also, if you have done a previous course, you want to go in a more intense course, or you want to go on another course to advance your abilities, that there is you have a bridging program available. There's bridging there, depending between you and the training provider, where you can offer to teach as an apprentice, or you observe as much as you can. And with the test outs, I recommend doing the test outs the up to the 400 hours. So that's the way I learned as well. But obviously, if you come from the start, you have to actually do your observation teaching, and you've got to get those 100 hours, and you have to get them signed off by your training provider, which is a good thing as well, because it gets you to learn more and more. And also, as an apprentice, as a newbie, you get feedback on your teaching, which is absolutely amazing. Constructive feedback as well, which is it can be upsetting, think, oh God, but it's a good way of learning. Okay, and sign-offs. And again, it's what it's important also that students who come to your studio know they don't need to know, they want to be fixed, they want to be pain free, but it's also good a security for them, that they know that you are qualified and you are there. They're in a safe pair of hands. So yeah, that's it really. So just on training programs, and like I said, there's many out there. I'm not going to mention there's more than my experience back in 2005. There was only like one or two, and you think, oh, which one do I pick? And I'm not saying I did pick a good one. It gave me the foundation to move on to a different course. Sort of move on to different courses and discovering things as well. So, okay. So here we go. Oh yeah, on my shapes again. My mind goes blank sometimes with the upstretch. Pike up, yeah. And with a snake and twist, you start off in that pike up position and then you lengthen out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of saying. So that's my shapes one. I'm coming back into it again. There's lots of exercises. So that's another thing you learn in your training program, what I've learned before, how you can learn things on different pieces of equipment, how the shapes are the same. Like I said, short spine, rolling like a ball, long back stretch. And you can link them with the mat exercise, with the reformer exercises, and then your side plank. You've got that links nicely with star reformer. So all this puts it. You can see years on, I'm still thinking. I thought, oh God, yeah, this links with this, and this links with that. So yeah, so choose the right training program for you. I don't recommend a short course unless you're doing it for awareness. Go for a longer course with your anatomy and with all your teaching practices. So there you go. I should leave you to it. Have a brilliant week, and I shall hear from you. I'll see you on the next podcast. So I have to think of something else to speak about then. So take care, stay safe, and speak to you all soon.